care what you're weighing. You're still a sausage. You still got a massive head.
That to me. I just want to get this guy out of boxing. I want to beat him so badly that he doesn't want to ever fight again.
I'll meet you bang in the middle, mate, and I'll nip it in the bud right here, right now. You know, I don't think you can come walk over to me and pull up on me and think I ain't going to do nothing about it.
You're lucky you're fighting tomorrow. I'll fuck you up right now. Yeah.
You see, this guy comes in when I'm cutting weight.
Oh, comes in when he comes. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow after the fight. I'll see you tomorrow after the fight.
You get in that ring.
Yeah, what? Get in that ring. I'll get in that ring and fucking give it to you.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course, mate.
We'll see.
You're fucking lucky you're fighting tomorrow.
You'll see.
You're lucky, mate.
We'll see.
Get your hand off me.
Oh, it's okay. Let him come close, man. I like this. I like this energy.
The tension between Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. is absolutely electric. This isn't just a fight, it's a full-blown war waiting to explode. Benn is all fire, calling out Eubank Jr. and practically daring him to make the first move. His confidence is through the roof, and he's looking to turn up the heat. But Eubank Jr. is no rookie. He stands tall, exuding a cold, calculated confidence, completely unbothered. Yet the underlying disrespect between them is undeniable. Benn may have youth and hunger on his side, but Eubank Jr. brings experience and a point to prove. Their back-and-forth exchanges have been intense, but when that bell rings, words mean nothing. The real question is,
He wants that fight. So the fight's going to happen.
That's him just selling it to the media that I pulled up on him while he's wagering. And most people will fall for it.
Conor Benn said to us that will be his next fight. Is that it now? The next fight is going to be Conor Benn for you, Chris.
As long as he gets
This
his
fight
license
is now
back.
official.
will Eubank Jr.'s experience dominate, or is Benn truly ready to take over and prove he's the future of boxing? Mark your calendars. April 26th is the date boxing fans have been waiting for. After all the heated exchanges, the drama, and the build-up, it's finally go time. The buzz around this fight is massive, and rightfully so. This isn't just about titles or rankings, it's personal. Benn is out for redemption, looking to silence his doubters and cement his name. Meanwhile, Eubank Jr. steps into the ring with unshakable confidence, knowing a victory here could elevate his career to the next level. With stakes sky high, expect fireworks in the ring. Will Eubank Jr. silence the critics and prove he's the superior fighter? Or will Benn make a statement and shake up the boxing world?
With you, like at the end of the day, the reality is winning is worth a lot more than 100 grand. I think we do something for charity, whatever, I think it would be nice.
Eddie, he said that he feels that he's getting paid, if not more than Conor Benn, around the same. What do you make on that?
Who?
That was
Ben Shalom.
first of all.
He's making double-digit millions for this fight. If
First
so,
of all.
Chris Eubank needs to sue.
World once again. This is more than just a match. It's a grudge fight that promises to be talked about for years. Adding fuel to the fire, the heated conversation between Ben Shalom and Eddie Hearn has stirred even more drama. Shalom didn't hold back, dropping serious comments about boxing's money game, making it clear that winning means more than any paycheck. He even suggested that charity work would be a more meaningful outcome. Hearn fired back, directly addressing claims about Ben's earnings, adding another layer to this already explosive rivalry. Who are you backing? Drop your predictions in the comments. If Chris Eubank Jr. is truly earning as much as Conor Benn for this fight, Eddie Hearn didn't mince words, slamming the idea and even suggesting that
I think he'll be there for the fight.
I think he could potentially be there, yeah. I don't think it would take too much for him to be there. It's just a few conversations and things to be worked out in between, I'm sure. But yeah, it's obviously a fight that Chris Eubank Jr. is carrying the promotion alone, at the moment. So
Why do you say that?
because he is the one that's engaged the public.
that Eubank Jr. should take legal action if that's the case. The gloves are off, and the stakes have never been higher. This isn't just a fight. It's shaping up to be one of the most dramatic showdowns in boxing history. Who do you think is getting the better deal? Harlem Eubank didn't hold back when discussing the upcoming showdown, making it clear that the drama behind the scenes is just as intense as the fight itself. He firmly believes Conor Benn could very well be present for the fight, though a few key details still need to be ironed out. What really caught attention was Harlem's take on Chris Eubank Jr. carrying the entire promotion on his back. He pointed out that Eubank Jr. has become the face of this fight, drawing in public interest like never before, while Benn has remained.
The fight itself is a mismatch, you know. The build-up has been a mismatch, you know, and
is that because Chris is too big? Do you think?
I don't think it's necessarily well, you know, it's obviously the size at a different weight class. You know, in boxing there's different weight classes, and you fight your weight. And Chris is, as well as being bigger, has fought at a much higher level.
Remained more on the sidelines. Harlem's words highlight an imbalance in promotional efforts. Eubank Jr. has fully stepped up, engaging with fans and media, while Benn's presence has been minimal. Whether Benn steps in or not, one thing is undeniable. Eubank Jr. is driving the narrative. Centered on Jr., Harlem Eubank didn't hold back when breaking down the fight, calling it a complete mismatch from start to finish. In his eyes, Chris Eubank Jr. is simply on another level. While Conor Benn might be stepping up in weight, Harlem made it clear that size isn't the real issue. The true gap lies in experience. Eubank Jr. has faced far tougher competition, battling.
It's quite difficult sometimes, especially if you're dry like Chris Eubank. He will struggle to stay within that 10-pound limit. I have a feeling he won't do it. I have a feeling he'll agree to it, he'll pay a fine and maybe weigh in 15 or 16 pounds over.
Who did he fight recently and he looked like he was completely dead at the weight?
Yeah, last fight.
Was it Liam Smith, the first one?
Yeah.
He looked like he looked awful.
Brutal. And that's how hard it is to make. That's why I think it's kind of the rehydration clause puts things slightly more into Conor Benn's favour, which is unfair.
Elite-level fighters, while Benn has never been tested at that level. Harlem emphasized that while size matters, experience and skill will be the deciding factors. And in those areas, the gap is massive. In his view, this was never a fair contest. Eubank Jr. is stronger, sharper, and simply more battle-tested. When the bell rings, Harlem believes the difference in levels will be brutally exposed. Carl Frampton isn't convinced that Chris Eubank Jr. can make weight for this fight, and he didn't hold back when discussing it on the Two Sport Boxing podcast. Frampton cast serious doubt on whether Eubank Jr. can stay within the 10-pound limit after weigh-in, especially considering how drained he looked against.
Eubank Jr. is his own man, and that's what he's always tried to make out. This is me, this is my career, and this is how I do things. Dad, that was your era, that was your time, blah, 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 let me do this. But I'm sure he'd love to have him sat ringside watching him.
Liam Smith. He even suggested that while Eubank Jr. might agree to the terms, he could end up paying a fine and coming in 15 to 16 pounds over. Frampton's biggest concern? The rehydration clause. He believes it heavily favors Conor Benn, making the cut even more brutal for Eubank Jr. In his eyes, this tilts the fight in Benn's favor and isn't getting the attention it deserves. With Eubank Jr.'s size advantage under threat, Frampton questions whether this fight is truly fair or if the weight drama will become the biggest factor when the bell rings. Meanwhile, renowned trainer Joe Gallagher didn't mince words when breaking down Chris Eubank Jr.'s relentless pursuit of independence. Eubank Jr. has made
a good thing sometimes to have a little bit of weight to train off. Not a lot, but and I think that's what Eubank's got, whereas Conor is already at the weight, or there or thereabouts. So that's also a benefit in the sense like he can now just completely fuel his training and fuel his performance. But it's always going to favour the bigger man. It's always going to favour the bigger man.
It's crystal clear that he's not trying to follow anyone's legacy. He wants to carve his own path, step out of his father's shadow, and prove he's his own man. But beneath all the bravado, there's an undeniable truth. Deep down, Eubank Jr. still craves validation. He won't admit it, but having his father ringside, watching him dominate, would mean everything. It's the unspoken truth no one dares to bring up. The real question is, can Eubank Jr. truly rise to the top alone, or will the very legacy he's trying to escape haunt him forever? The clock is ticking, and this battle is about far more than just boxing. It's about discovering who he really is. On the other side of the debate, Shane McGuigan isn't shy about
I'm also very close with Conor Benn. He's a good pal of mine, so it's very hard for me to sort of sit back and say this or say that. I think they're doing a fantastic job in selling their fight. I think it's going to be a fantastic fight. They both obviously have the needle with each other, and they're both going to give it everything. So be prepared for war, and I hope they get out of the ring safe and sound.
Highlighting the advantages of carrying extra weight during training, and he believes Chris Eubank Jr. is using it to his advantage. McGuigan argues that Eubank Jr. benefits from pushing himself harder with the extra weight, while Conor Benn, already close to his fight weight, focuses purely on fine-tuning his conditioning. On paper, Benn's approach seems smarter. It allows for more targeted training and efficiency. But McGuigan isn't convinced. He knows that in a fight, size matters, and in this showdown, that could be the deciding factor. However, there's one major twist. Stamina and recovery in the later rounds could swing in Eubank Jr.'s favor. Despite Benn's insane conditioning, the older fighter might have the endurance edge when it counts the most. Age could become the silent game changer in this explosive matchup, making this fight even more unpredictable than many expect. Adding another layer of intensity to the build-up, Tommy Welch opens up about the brutal difficulty of remaining neutral ahead of the explosive showdown between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. Given his close ties to both fighters, Welch is torn. He reveals that Benn has been training at his gym and they've built a strong bond, making it tough for him to pick a side. Despite his personal connections, Welch praises both fighters for the way they've built the fight, acknowledging the sheer intensity of their rivalry. The animosity is undeniable, and Welch doesn't hold back in describing this fight as a true grudge match. Both Eubank Jr. and Benn will step into the ring with everything on the line, determined to prove who's truly the best. Welch's only hope? That both fighters walk away safe, because this fight is set to be one of the most intense clashes in recent memory. Who do you think has the edge? Like, comment, and subscribe for more updates.